Hi, future supervisors of America. My name is Suzanne Douglas. I am your professor for the next 10 weeks. And I want to talk to you a little bit about supervision. In any area, field that you decide to go into, whether it's business, finance, nursing, anything, healthcare field, there is going to be some sort of link to supervision. Even if you're not designated a supervisor, you're still going to be linked to supervision. So, what I want to talk to you about today is what you can do as a supervisor. Being a supervisor is extremely hard. It's probably one of the hardest jobs out there. Managing people and the different personalities can be time consuming. You will not just leave work and not supervise. You will constantly be thinking of something that you need to do. And ultimately, the biggest part of supervision is you're responsible for another person's actions. And that can be very difficult to manage. Those who like to be in control actually do very well in this position. Those who have wonderful time management and work ethic do very well in these positions. Some people are born to be natural supervisors and leaders, and then there are just some that they're not so good. I am sure that some of you have been involved in that. And so, what I want to talk to you about today is I have been hired as the business instructor for TCL for multiple reasons for my education and for my experience. And I'm going to give you just a couple of tips that I have had, some experiences that I've had as a supervisor that seem to help. All right, first of all, number one, and you're welcome to write this down. Number one, find something in common with the people that you supervise. You're going to meet all different types of personalities, and really it's the supervisor that has to make the adjustment with the personality, especially with those that bump heads. You might meet someone who you're absolutely wonderful friends with, and you have to work together with that. And sometimes, I'm not saying all the time, sometimes that could be great, but sometimes it could clash. And then your work is affected. So you can find one thing in common. I'm going to give you an example. When I worked at a healthcare organization as the administrator, I worked for I was supervising the IT department, if you all are in IT and you know IT, they take their work personally, and that's okay. This is not to judge anybody. They just take their work personally because IT is a very difficult task. And what Even though I knew I had some technical background and I had a good amount of technical background, I still wasn't up to her level, which is fine. But she was condescending to everybody, not just me, our supervisor. She was very difficult to work with. She had a lot of body language movements like this. And, those kind of body language and in itself is its own language. We need to have a whole course on body language. And for years, she and I had, and this is when I was younger, I'm just saying, every year I had to learn something new about supervision. For years and years, it took a lot of work just to supervise her. So one day my supervisor came to me and said, you need to find something in common with her. Well, I knew I had just had my first child. She had a daughter that you could just tell she was enamored with, and rightly so. And so I thought, well, I'm just going to talk to her about kids. So I went in there one day, I had a conversation with her about her daughter. It was like a door opened. I'm not saying we didn't ever have conflict where I didn't have to write her up before, but for whatever reason, that seemed to open the door to an effective working relationship. There were several times where I just wanted to say, no, I'm not dealing with her, but I couldn't. As a supervisor, you cannot do that. It is your job to make your staff successful. You will have those who are just not, it's not going to work, but in general, 99% of the time, you're going to have staff that have lots of potential. And it is your job to empower them. It is your job to make them successful. It is your job to listen to them. It's also your job to make sure they get their work done correctly and on time, and set goals for them. Anyway, so that's my little tip on effective supervision. There's a lot of responsibility that falls on the supervisor, and in this course, you all will start to learn that. I'm going to try to, I think this is a great course for anybody. I wish all of TCL, including faculty, management, everybody, they just all need a little bit of supervision training. It's fantastic to have. Everybody can improve. And honestly, I'll be honest, you do something like this, it can roll into your personal life and help create great relationships in your personal life as well. So thank you for today. Welcome again to the Fundamentals of Supervision. I'm going to come out with some more topics to talk to you about. If you think of anything that you want to know about, please shoot me an email. I'll be happy to talk to you about it. And again, always send me, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Have a good Monday. Thank you.